The same man we call a beast in a marriage is a king in another marriage.
I have not seen who made mistake on earth and yet to be corrected and slap himself. Oh, I made mistake.
You can't report to your neighbors because they see you that you are a rich man's wife.
Can
And you don't have a bra.
Don't say what you can regret, because what's uttered can never be recalled.
We don't know that in some families, peace is something they experience like Christmas.
Rather be who you are, be yourself. Know the right thing to do at the right time.
And when you have someone, you're dating someone or you're in a relationship, and this person is not afraid of anyone, please know that you have signed up for domestic violence.
So good having you all to Hilly's talk show program, a learning platform for the youths. Glory be to God. Vivid View.
Say and do it.
It takes courage to change. Say something, somebody.
Mr. Champion, it takes courage to change. In my opinion, things don't just happen, they are made to happen. So in the midst of pressure, in the midst of societal influence, when there's a desire to change, to alter from bad to good, courage is a must. You must apply determination. You must apply that strategic decision to get better. Thank you.
My name is Grace. It takes courage to change. From my own perspective, it simply means being intentional and bold for positive things, despite the price you need to pay. Thank you.
My name is Ogenesue. It takes courage to change. What I understand by this is that standing out or making a choice to adjust from your normal comfort zone requires determination, and it is not usually comfortable. Thank you.
Thank you so much for your response to that teaser. It takes courage to change. Indeed, a character that has been built over the years, you don't expect the person to change overnight. It's a gradual process. But what is important is that courage to turn from evil to good. As a student, turn from evil to good. You belong to court, you'll be killing. But this is the time you say, no, what am I really doing? Give the second thought. Why should I be taking life that I did not create? Why should I be killing someone that didn't even offend me? In case you're a hired killer or hired assassin, it takes courage to make that move. No, I'm not going to live this kind of life. It also takes courage, even in family, for you to turn from tiger and tigress to sheep, to allow peace to reign in your home. So this courage is so important, almost in all aspects. In the office, you're also known as a tiger. You will eventually chase away all your good staff and even customers and all that. So it takes courage to change from bad to good. And that is what I'm challenging you youths. Change from bad to good. And this our country, Nigeria, will be a better place for all of us to live. All right, enough for this. We'll continue with the discussion for today. Frankly speaking, living in harmony with your spouse is the best thing that can ever happen to you. Marriage is meant to be enjoyed and not to be endured. Peace. Therefore, domestic violence and family integration is the topic for today's discussion. It is time for a break, and on return, the guests will introduce. Don't go away, please. Vivid View, say and do it. Welcome back. In case you're just joining us, the topic again is domestic violence and family integration. And with me in the studio is a psychologist. Let's make welcome Dr. G. Akinwale.
Vivid View.
Say and do it. Before discussion proper, please follow us on social media handles are displayed on the screen. Welcome again, Doctor. Please,
Thank you.
Can we have your definition and perspective of the subject matter?
Domestic violence is a global phenomenon When we say global phenomena, it cuts across all the big nations and the small nations all over the world, irrespective of the status, irrespective of the class, of gender. It is a menace to our society. And no family integration or society can grow when people are living in adversities, when homes are built on adversities. These adversities expanded even to the children. Kids that are supposed to be raised in love, many of them are being raised in adversities. So when we talk about domestic violence, for the purpose of this teaching, I want to narrow it down to intimate domestic violence that we also call intimate partner violence. This has to do with the relationship between you and your spouse and how all of this can lead to abusive behavior. Thank you.
That's a very strong one, a very direct introduction. Now, what flamed domestic violence in the family?
Domestic violence comes in such a way that we can say it has several indicators. Coming from the psychological perspective, the role of personality is one. The same man we call a beast in a marriage is a king in another marriage. That means that behavior, our personality is a big aspect when it comes to whether a marriage is going to work or is going to be characterized with domestic violence. Culture is another perspective. Some of us, we are being raised in families or cultures where we don't even want to talk about it, or where we tend to see violence as normal, especially when they raise you in adversities. Let me try to link this up with transmission of traumas. They raised you as a little child with flogging, spanking continuously. Growing up as a wife, if your husband fails to eat you, it's like you are not there. It's like something is missing. Sometimes the way we have raised our kids in terms of culture could also be a factor. Our religion is one. So I even saw a video of a particular, maybe let me say a church or a denomination. The pastor flogged the women in the church for committing certain things, maybe for involving in a particular behavior. So if a pastor does that to women in the church, what do you talk about when we now talk about domestic violence? That means for such a pastor or a leader, he sees it as a way of correcting people. And when we talk about domestic violence, it's now difficult for me as a professional to define it within the cultural and the spiritual context, what it is. Some might even come from the biblical angle and put it to you like, oh, you don't spare the rod. So the rod here means, oh, you don't spare your wife, you don't spare your husband when they have done certain things to you. Also, we have the ecological perspective, the kind of people you interact with. They determine you, they shape you, they inform you. Growing up, if you've seen your dad eat your mom, by the time they give you your own wife, you're also thinking of how to do the same, thinking that that is the way to go in handling such a relationship. Coming from the feminist angle now, to the feminists, they believe that when you are involved in abuse, it's a form of exerting your power over your wife. It's a form of dominance. And we tend to see men in our culture, because of the patriarchy society we live, men tend to see themselves as being in charge. And being in charge means you can hit, you can bully, you can even kill. That's the extreme of the continuum. So it's that bad and it's that wide. So let me pause for now.
Thank you so much for that exposure. I believe our audience were able to get a few things, almost 3 or 5 dimensions you mentioned, and that can flame up this domestic violence. You talk about personality and all that, even religion and about background. And these things are very, very key. For those who came from a violent family, you think that is the normal thing when you get married. You hear some men telling you that I never even beat you as my father beats my mom. You know, that's not right. And some ladies too feel that because they're not being beaten, the husband has not shown her love because my father was beating my mom. They also think that, but that is not really true. That's not true, really, because you cannot hit yourself. We're meant to understand by the same scripture that marriage is meant for man and woman, and they are one. He said, for this reason shall a man leave his father and mother and cleave to his wife, and both of them shall become one flesh. So if you made mistake as a man, I have not seen who made mistake on earth. I'm yet to be corrected. And slap himself. Oh, I made mistake. Or hit his head on the wall and made mistake. No. But why will you do that when your wife makes mistake? You don't hit yourself when you make mistake, but when she does, you hit. Or even the ladies now. So ladies now are becoming too funny. They first slap boy. Even as boyfriend and girlfriend, they slap. And when they say, hey, so you want to be a white beater, you, uncle, are you not the one that first started? So it's not right for any. Both sides. You, the man, must not hit your wife for whatever reason. Whatever mistake she has made, dialogue, discuss it. You, the wife, too, don't also try to come on that boldness and hit your husband first, thinking that he'll be a gentleman and will be watching you. When you hit him, it's not domestic violence. But when he hits you, it becomes domestic violence. That is very wrong. I don't know where ladies are getting that now because I'm seeing it happening. I've heard and I've seen. So please, don't do that. Don't hit your spouse. Don't hit your man. Whether it's the boyfriend or maybe you just married relation, you're not even entering into marriage, don't hit. If you don't like something, say it. I don't like it. And you walk away. That's the best than hitting. We're not meant to hit anybody to avoid this. It's really a masquerade that is disturbing everywhere, making homes, unbearable, making children look so unhappy in school. When they get to school, they'll be unhappy. They won't even want to go back because daddy and mommy just fought yesterday, even to this morning. So please, let us remove all this and move ahead. That is why I said that in my introduction, that marriage is meant to be enjoyed and not to be endured. All right, that takes me to the next question. How does modernization influence or contribute to domestic violence?
Firstly, I think I need to talk about the forms of domestic violence.
Okay.
I wouldn't want to silence that so that would take us to the modernization.
Yeah, that's a good
issue.
one.
Firstly, we really need to conceptualize what domestic violence is. Beyond the eating, slapping, kicking that we know.
Even worse.
There are other ones. Emotional abuse is there. And for men, what I tend to see is that women abuse men emotionally. But men retaliate physically. That is usually
most times,
the trend.
Yeah, most times.
So when you provoke a man emotionally, you've put him through so much, by the time he retaliates, he's coming with that bad slap. So abuse can come in from a physical abuse. It could be emotional. It could be sexual. You can deprive this man of not touching you. And that will even lead to further tension in the home. And you know the way frustration works. There's a continuum that we call frustration aggression. It's a continuum. When someone is frustrated, the tendency of being aggressive, which is the domestic violence you are talking about, is at the other end of it.
Exactly.
Also, financial abuse. You can be a rich man and not give your wife money. It can be so draining. And women, you can't report to your neighbors because they see you that you are a rich man's wife. And you don't have a bra.
Wonderful.
You wear your tattered pants. So some of these are forms of abuses. And also some men will insist that their wives will not take up a formal job so that they can assert that dominance on them. So it is the little they give them. All of this now. Let's now link it to modernization. We're talking about modernization. We're talking about globalization.
Yeah.
At what point are we going to establish the trajectory? We are modernized as Nigerians, as Africans.
No doubt about that.
We are not necessarily imitating what the white does. But now we want to act local or we want to think local and act global here. With social media, some of us are abusing and even compounding the issue of domestic violence. You have a little conversation in your house. The next thing you're going on live video. Like, come and see, he has done this, he has done just for the purpose of likes and followers. You are doing all of this to compound issues. So the modernization we're talking about, then we also have some bad mentors out there. They are the ones misleading the younger ones to let them know that no, you don't actually need a man. As a man, you don't need a woman to live your life. You just have to, you can be fine all by yourself. But the truth is that at a point, you will need intimate partner. And you see people resorting into adultery, fornication, just because You don't have it from this person you are calling a spouse, and you are looking for the same thing from the other people. So now modernization has really defined so many things. And we now hear concepts like open marriage. You are still married, your wife has a man friend, the man has women, in fact, woman friends. How do we put all of this? We have the baby mama syndrome, all of this come into play. That's the kind of lifestyle that at a point it will not be interesting to you.
Some ladies don't want to be under control of any man. Yes. Let me just have my children and be I can take care of my children. We even saw a trend in the last 1 week about outsourcing pregnancy, surrogacy. All of these will lead to domestic violence at the end of the day. I tell people that if you're a young lady like me, you don't have any fertility issue, and you have the view like, oh, it's my body, it's my choice. Don't go into marriage, please. It's not for you. Go to a sperm bank and get a donor sperm and have that your child. Don't come into that brother that is pretending to support surrogacy today. We go and sleep with your neighbor to confirm his potency. Yes.
And at the end of the day, you are coming back online to say, oh, I've separated with my husband for the last 10 months. I decided not to come online to talk about it. What happened? This man has gone elsewhere to validate himself. Like, oh, can I really impregnate a woman?
Am I really a man? Yes. Complete man.
So if you are going through those parts of outsourcing, of using customers and relationship, at a point, domestic violence will step in. So all this modernization and things we're bringing on board, they have a way they intersect with our culture to promote domestic violence in our environment. Thank you.
There's no doubt about it. You have really said it all. They really have a way to promote domestic violence. Even to social media. You will even see a man that is not even living happily with a wife. You come out and tell you everything is so rosy in my family. That go back and see. Or you will come and condemn those who are trying to live well. You want to come and criticize them, condemn them. And so many things, so many negative things we see in social media. And so our youth, you must not be carried away with that. Rather be who you are. Be yourself. Know the right thing to do at the right time. And that is it. Know from now that if you marry tomorrow as a young man, as a young woman, you are the same with your husband, you are the same with your wife. Don't separate. The moment you see your wife as you, the moment you see your husband as you will live happily. That marriage that God made you blissful will really be what you're going to enjoy indeed. So that's what I want to add there. We'll take a break now. Vivid View, say and do it. Welcome back. In case you're just joining us, we are still discussing domestic violence and family integration. Doctor, this takes me to the next question. Who are the prime targets or those vulnerable to domestic violence?
I wouldn't want to be biased by saying women are the vulnerable people here.
But that is true.
Research has documented it that even men, they are being abused as well.
No doubt.
So I wouldn't want to say openly like, no, it's women's thing. All of us are equally vulnerable when you are not compatible with your partner, when you are not ready to compromise certain things. Marriage, relationship is all about compromising. I don't like this.
You fall for me, I fall for you. Yes.
Okay, let's have it today. Yes. I cited an example with a team yesterday, like, oh, let's say we just entered the supermarket. And you saw this particular thing and you tap your spouse like, oh dear, let's get, and he says, oh, we are not buying it. For the sake of peace, why not move on? Why say, hey, because you have the money, you don't want to buy it, and
start creating scenes.
Now we now have drama wives, drama husband. But then you have two dramatic people living in a house. You can't have anything other than
what do you expect?
Violence.
And also the children too suffers it. Because where there's no peace at all, like I mentioned before, when they go to school, they feel so dejected, they feel so, in fact, it can even lead to their depression. You may never understand, they look so quiet. Why is my friend's parents behaving more than my own parents? So children feel it. And so you couples must also remember that whatever you do affects your children either positively or negatively, and live well. All right. Who or what are the architects responsible for domestic violence, and how should it be tackled?
When we say architects responsible or factors responsible for domestic violence, firstly, I will start from trauma transmission. If you have been raised in adversities where you see your parents being subjected to all of this, where you have been a victim of sexual abuse, emotional abuse, parental abuse, all forms of what we call adverse childhood experiences in psychology. There are 10 indicators there. Maybe one of your parents have lived in the prison or was in prison. All of these, when you raise a child from such an environment, you have not raised a child. You have raised, let me say, okay, still a child, but a traumatic adult. And if we don't go through necessary intervention in terms of counseling, cognitive behavior therapy, where you reorder the thinking of the person, this person will grow into adulthood and believe that life is all about violence, is all about eating one another. Some of us have actually underrated peace. Maybe because we lived in homes where the atmosphere is characterized with peace. We don't know that in some families, peace is something they experience like Christmas.
Honestly, once in a while.
Once in a while, something that is not regular. So when you now see all of this, you can see that even the foundation is faulty. For some of us, going by my home background, in fact, they even have lists of the kind of man we can marry in my family. They listed them.
Oh.
And I wouldn't, for the kind of program I have, I wouldn't want to mention some. When they look at the family pattern of the man you are dating, they tell you that you can't go ahead. Because these people, they don't understand love. They don't know that people love, people play. Every little thing is about hitting, is about insulting you. And when you have someone, you're dating someone or you're in a relationship, and this person is not afraid of anyone, please know that you have signed up for domestic violence. Because if a man brags like, oh, nobody there talks to me, oh, what you're signing up is actually a bomb that is just waiting for that period for the main explosion to come. So the architect is from the family. Society does it as well, because some of us, we are now normalizing abuse, like they just eat you 2-3 times. And when we now normalize it as a society, you have a pastor telling you like, hey, you too, Melo, no, Lara, see Mrs. Amo, they beat her 10 times a month. You Shebi, your own is just 2 times a month. You are still fine. You can see where all of these things are being shaped. And at a point, we talk about a psychological theory that I call learned helplessness. At a point, you're already helpless. You do not even know what to do. So when they hit you, you just surrender, like, this is me, and I'm just continue my life with it. Also, we also need to talk about what we call the ABC of behavior. The antecedents, the behavior, and the consequence. The consequence is what we're talking about, domestic violence. Exactly. The behavior itself, whether the hitting, the knocking, but the antecedents, many of us don't talk about it. And for me as a psychologist, I tell you, even if you are leaving your husband because of domestic violence, I will tell you, like, if you are going to give marriage a chance again, we have to work on certain antecedents. Because if we don't work on it, you will go to the second marriage and it will still be the same pattern.
Exactly.
It might not even be the man. What are the antecedents like? What are the triggers? Are you the type that will just look at the man, hey, is your mother mad?
It's your mother, your father.
Your father, your mother. You say all of this. You're leaving the marriage. You're going through a family court or a court of law. Fine, you have done that. Congratulations. But if you're going to achieve marriage for the second time, That means we have to work on you.
Yes, work on yourself.
So that we don't have a repetition of this behavior. And you see what we call recidivism. The same people they abuse in first marriage, they are the same they abuse in second. They are the same they abuse in third. So what is your submission? The point is that the woman herself, it's also a problem.
Need to be changed at some point.
Yes, so going by the concept you used to introduce this today's presentation, the change must be intentional.
Yes.
It must come from you. What am I doing? Why is it that it is only me?
I need to make it right.
Hit me. Yes. What am I doing? Sometimes our mouth as ladies, we run it so much that the men cannot take it. I'm not justifying abuse here.
That is the truth.
Please. But we need to understand that when you look at a man, you are saying he's not responsible. Your father is a bastard.
You bring him so low that he feel like digging the ground and killing himself.
Men, the way they are wired, they won't altercate. They won't say anything. Some of them will go to their bed and they will cry all through the night. Some that cannot cry, what do you think they will do? They will come to you and so that eat you. So that your parents can get the message that you missed that part of training. Thank you.
This is not the first time we're talking about domestic violence in this platform. But sometimes, over time, I decided to bring it up again. Because I see here, fighting here, I read in social media, I say, God, it's like what we're saying, like we're wasting time. But I know we're not wasting time. Please, couple, remember, marriage is meant to be enjoyed and not to be endured. Do away with anything that will trigger violence, especially we ladies who run our mouth like typewriter or even like running tap. You don't consider just because you're annoyed. You should be able to control your emotions, control your annoyance at that time. Don't say what you can regret, because what's uttered can never be recalled. Oh, I wasn't my right senses when I said that. No, you should be your right senses at all times, even when you're annoyed. As a man or as a woman, especially we women. And then you left our men with no choice than to hit you, because they may not be able to talk to you the way you have spoken to them. But at the same time, this is no reason at all. A woman that sees your wife talk to you the way it's not supposed to talk to you, the first thing that comes to your mind is that, oh, my wife is hot. Then you keep calm. Even if you abuse your parents. It's only when you tell your parents are not there that will know that she abused them. But you first understand that she's really not in her right moment. Give her that chance. When she calms down, you can tell her, look at what you said when you were not. This is how I'm supposed to be. Find out a good woman will apologize. But we are saying women don't always let your mouth like that because you're annoyed. And women and men don't hate. Please, it's so important. Then how is family integration the key to restoring and promoting family ties?
Thank you. I think we need to revert to our extended family system. The nuclear family system has done the biggest damage to our society than any one of us could imagine. No uncle, no auntie, no grand uncle can caution any one of us. We're just living on our own.
And we know it all.
And for young couples, you're just coming on board. You still need people to guide you. You need mentors, people you can really look up to, like, oh, my uncle has been married for 45 years. My dear,
what was the secret? What is the secret for them to last 45 years?
I want me and you to be visiting them. Let's learn from them. But when we try to say, oh, we are on an island, we live in Lagos, we really don't need anyone to guide us, it comes with a lot of setback for our homes. So it's important for family integration to really work. We really need the extended family system. We really need to promote it. When your kid sees you and your husband being in disarray or disagreement at all times, your kids can actually help you report to your parents. Like, Grandpa, I don't understand. Whenever Daddy is doing something, he talks, he looks so wild, he looks so dangerous. But you don't want Grandpa, you don't want Grandma, you don't even want cousins, you don't want uncles.
They're not even close to them.
And we are human.